Welcome to another edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. I will have a guest in just a moment, but I want to give an update on some of the local kids. By the time this airs, I will just assume that San Diego State had beat the Lobos and Jordan Bird had a great game. I think that's a pretty safe assumption, right? Yeah, I think it's pretty safe. Last week I had Jalen Munn in, and the interview was so good, we brought in another Cleveland Storm. Amir Muhammad is my guest. Amir, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So many stars, right, on that team, so I just had to bring another one in. It's going to be pretty special to play on a team like that, right?
Right. Yeah, it's real fun. You know, I've been loving it since I first got there, you know, and then having our chance our sophomore year to actually compete at the varsity level has been, and ever since then it's been pretty fun.
So we'll kind of get to some of that high school stuff later, but talk about your upbringing. Where did little Amir start, and where did his love of basketball begin?
Well, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. You know, I was born and raised there. My love started at the age of 6. My dad he put the ball in my hand, and he said when I shot my first shot, he could see the form on me, and he actually could tell that I was going to be a basketball player since then. And then just ever since, I've just been growing on basketball. It's just been my first passion.
So all the way back to 6. That's is it one of those where, you know, parents just like the Tiger Woods phenomenon, right, where they force the clubs in your hand and then it just sticks? Was it like that?
Yeah, it was pretty much like that.
Like you go from the little toddler hoop to the one that's halfway up your door, then the one that's all the way at the top of your door, that kind of thing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right.
sir.
So you've been a shooter since then.
Yes, sir. Yes. Always knocking it down.
First organized ball. When did that happen? First organized team ball.
When I was 8 years old, you know, I played in a division up than me. So yeah, that was my first. We were like, it's like JCC is like a little, what you could say, like a little community, you know. Then down in the JCC Community Center, that's when I started up playing.
It's pretty competitive. I mean, how is the basketball scene in Detroit there? Is that pretty?
Oh yeah.
Compare it to Albuquerque.
It was like I wasn't like when I got in middle school. I mean, in elementary school in Michigan, I wasn't really in the Detroit area.
Okay.
And I didn't really get the chance to see all like the upcoming high school players that's like in Detroit. But it's real tough out there, and going to the parks and stuff because my mom lives back home. So going to the parks, you can actually tell like competition is real tough. They do not play. Okay. It's real hard.
When they see someone come from the suburbs, so they try to
they try to push
body you
around.
Up pretty good, maybe throw some elbows and stuff. Who's this kid coming from the suburbs?
Right, yeah.
That kind of thing.
But I always have my brothers to protect me. So,
okay, all right. Pistons guy? Are you a Detroit Pistons guy or no?
Actually, not a Pistons. Don't like the Pistons at all.
No?
No.
How does that allowed to happen growing up in Michigan?
Going all the way back to the olden days with Michael Jordan and the Bad Boys. Nah, don't like them.
Man,
They're
that's
dirty.
crazy. A Michigan guy that's on Team Michael.
Yeah.
Right? Because that was intense back then. Are there any rivalries like that in the NBA now, you think?
I said the closest one was, I would say, OKC and the Warriors.
Right.
But yeah.
But even that, I mean, you take a look at rivalries now, and they're all hugging after the game. Yeah. They're taking limos to the club. Like, those guys legitimately hated each other back then. I mean, right? That was the rumor that the only way Michael would play on the Dream Team is if Isaiah wasn't selected for the team, right? I mean, there's nothing like that going on anymore, right? Everyone just loves everyone wants to join the same team. Yeah. Chris Paul's friends with everybody, that kind of nonsense, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, I don't know how you do that in Detroit as a Bulls fan. That's got to be pretty. That's daring. That's pretty daring. So, at what point in your game did you know? Okay, I got it. The basketball's my thing. I'm pretty damn good.
I would have to say, 7th grade year. In my 7th grade year, I started to play like AAU and stuff like that, and going out like different cities and states and competing. And 7th grade was my prime, and then
that was your prime.
Yeah, that was the prime.
That's really good thing, man.
Yeah, but at that point, you could tell like I was going to become like a good basketball player in the future.
So what does that look like on the floor when you come into your own and you realize, okay, I'm starting to dominate out here? I mean, what does that look like? And what I mean by that is like, you have a better shot than everyone? Do you have better handles than everyone? Or what does that look like on the floor once you know that you've arrived?
My shot, I would have to say, like, I mean, it's pretty good, and I was a good shooter last year, but coming into this season, I want to be a great shooter. So knowing that I can be a good shooter and knocking down shots that my teammates can get to me as they drive and kick out to me, or even create shots for myself too.
Jalen said last week during a commercial that you haven't hit a J on him since you guys have been to school together. Is that true?
You better stop playing. Yeah, you better stop playing.
Because I think we have a basket out back. I mean, so if you guys are going one-on-one, what does that look like?
It's good competition. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm not no cocky dude, but we had to put it to the test, like for real, put it to the test.
We could make that happen, I think, right? If maybe we get to a game 2 hours early, bring some cameras, maybe a little one-on-one Proview Network special. What do you think? Does that got potential, you think?
I mean,
you think Coach would go for that?
I don't think he'd probably go for it. No, that's to be like before the game. You know, he don't want it to get hurt.
Are you saying you'd have to spot Jalen points? Is that what you're saying?
Nah,
how many would you have to spot him?
I got to get him 2,
and
then that's about it.
You're going to 10, but you're going to spot him 2?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to work with Adam, and I'm going to sweet talk Coach, and we're going to try to make that happen. All right, a little Proview special. You know, maybe we'll air it around Christmas time. You never know, right?
Yeah.
A little one-on-one. Obviously, the best thing that has to happen around that program has to happen when we're not around, I would imagine, during practice, during first period, when, you know, 2 studs like you are going at it.
Right.
You know, I mean, what's that vibe like in practice?
In practice, it's pretty in practice, it's pretty tough. It gets pretty tough, but it's fun because we compete against each other all the time. We don't take it off on anyone. You know what I'm saying? But in practice, he pretty much has like me and Jalen on the same team most of the time. So
that's no good.
Yeah, it's
that's
not that fun. Yeah, because we can't get the best out of each other.
Right. Yeah, we gotta get you guys on opposite teams. There's got to be. Is there gambling allowed? No, there's probably no gambling. So there's got to be some other stakes. Like, all right, winner gets to come in late to practice tomorrow, something like that. But we got to set that up with Coach, right? You guys got to be on the opposite sides, right, and make it entertaining.
Well, first period is like that because we play on the opposite teams from each other, and it gets real competitive in the mornings. And yeah.
What's the most intense competitive basketball moment you guys have had in practice?
Between who?
Oh, any of your teammates. You know, because when I had DeMarcus in, he made it sound like they're fighting in practice every day, right? Like they're getting after it so hard they're about to throw down. Like, what's the most competitive thing that's happened at a practice for you guys?
I don't even recall because I mean we do competitive drills because we have like our little drill that we'll do is called Knicks drill, and when we don't want to lose, then that's when you know you have to tighten up the defense, or someone has to score, and if you slip up, someone's going to be in your face, or it's going to be mean. Yeah, it's pretty
Sounds
fun.
to me like you guys are just Snapchatting dunks, really. Is that what you're doing? Just dunk? It's just dunk competitions in the morning? Is that what's going on? No, there's defense being played?
Yeah, we do some defense.
Look at the camera
we do.
And say that there's defense being played.
It's defense being played. Yeah, we play defense. We play defense.
I'm going to investigate further during this commercial break. There's really defense being played. We'll be right back with some huddle highlights of Amir Muhammad.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
High school sports are back. The 2018-19 season kicks off, and you could watch every Proview Network broadcast live on the NFHS network. Every moment, from every game, from every sport, including all NMAA state championships. Get your highly discounted monthly pass now. Go to ProviewNetworks.com and sign up. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Hi, I'm back with Amir Mohammed. Be sure to check out ProviewNetworks.com. Basketball season around the corner. Our live event schedule is on that website. You can see where we're at. We're going to be at Cleveland a lot. I can guarantee you that this year. That district's going to be awesome. We're going to get to a little bit of a district preview in just a moment. But first, we're going to go through some highlights. So if you've ever wanted to be Adam Deal or be Sebastian and do some basketball announcing, you can do it during this highlight. Walk us through some of this as we take a look here.
Oh, yeah. That's just on-ball pressure, you know. Just staying in front and get the 5-second call right there.
Now, you guys' highlights, I noticed, are always when you're beating Rio Rancho. Is that intentional?
Yes, very intentional. Yeah.
All right, what's going down here?
It's the N1, you know. Just on a fast break, we like to get out and run. So.
All right, take us through this here.
Oh yeah, they just came down with, like, I think it was a big 3 that they hit, and then us getting back in transition to get the ball out quick. You know, we just score quick. That's about it.
Now, as a player, I mean, do you prefer playing that up and down style against Rio Rancho? You know, where I mean, I'm not breaking any news here, but Rio Rancho doesn't play that much defense, right? Like,
yeah.
So I mean, that's got to be cool for you guys because it's up and down, right?
Yeah, they didn't play zero defense.
All right, he said it, but I was thinking it, but Amir said it. They play zero defense.
Zero defense.
Zero.
But I don't know. They might.
But I heard that might change this year because my boy Bruce Carver is helping coach a little bit over there. Old man Bruce is going to help them out, play some old school Hobbs defense, maybe, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. What that district is going to have a newcomer in it, right? A Trisco. So let's start there. A preview of that team, and how do you think they match up against you guys?
Well, I know they lost some big time seniors with Jordan. Ortega's son.
Right, that's right.
And,
point guard and Bibian.
And Bibian, yeah. There's some good players that helped them throughout the whole season, but they have some. They have a good junior coming back in Ramos, and then they have DeMarcus. You know, we're really looking forward to playing them.
Now DeMarcus took some shots at the Cleveland Storm on his episode of Local Focus, didn't he? He said he'd rather play. He would have rather played. What was it? What did he say exactly in that episode? That El Dorado was the superior team there, and
really?
Right? And I mean, you got something planned for a Trisco this year? You think, or?
No questions. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, another team in that district. Obviously, that's always tough. I mean, Coach Brown does such a good job with his kids always. And now that's a team that does play defense, obviously. Give us a preview of that matchup.
Well, that matchup is always pretty fun because they match up, I think, the best with us in our entire district. You know, they have the Jelante, Cesar, and Ben, and Andres, and they match up with our big four that's coming in. So we just got to watch out for them, you know, and they're a good contender, you know, for us this year too. So.
Then of course there's the rivalry, Rio Rancho.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Our rivalry. I mean, that's always going to be there. It's always going to be an intense atmosphere in the building, but we always come out and do our thing and give the fans what they want to see, and when we play Rio Rancho.
Any extra juice in that game? I mean, are you just amped up all the time? But obviously, when the building's full, it's got to be a different vibe, right?
Oh yeah, even like in like preparing and like shooting around during like the JV halftime, our intensity is up. Everyone's getting up and dunking. You know, see some bounce that you've never seen before from different players, and so yeah, we get real amped up and it's fun.
I mean, I did the game at their place last year. That I think that ended at the end, right? They won it at the end. Mm-hmm. But I can remember because Adam was doing another game, and I texted Adam during the JV game. I said, "There's more people here during this JV game than most varsity games we've done this season."
Right.
Right. I mean, did you ever see anything like that before? I mean, had you heard of rivalries like that? We don't see a lot of that in Albuquerque anymore. Sadly, attendance has been down a little bit in basketball, but definitely not when you guys play them.
Right. The other biggest rivalry that I've heard around the state was going down south is to like Clovis and Hobbs. And, you know, I heard when they played, it's intense every night. So yeah, that's all I heard too.
Now, as far as that rivalry, has that rivalry produced your most memorable game so far of your high school career? Or what has been the most memorable game of your high school career so far?
I would say that Rio Rancho game when we played them at their house and we lost just this past year. Yeah, I had 27 points. That was my career high since playing varsity. And
that was probably a game. There was recruiters in the stands that game, right? I can recall.
I think so.
Yeah, because they were sitting across from us. We're going to take another time out here. We're going to come back, and Amir usually guards some of the better players in the city. And his top 3 list tonight will be the top 3 guys that are the toughest to guard when we come back.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
All right, we're back with Amir Muhammad of the Cleveland Storm, and it's time for tonight's top 3 list. All right, you're a guard, you're a lockdown defender, usually guarding a very good player on the floor. Who are the top 3 guys to guard in the city? Starting with number 3.
Starting with number 3, I would have to go with Tyler Quintana from El Dorado.
And he put on some weight, right? He played some football, and he bulked up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So what makes him tough to guard?
He's been getting quicker, and he's getting big, and he's getting a lot stronger. So he can really handle the rock. So when he was getting me with a lot of moves last year that I'm not falling for this year. So.
All right. Yeah. So he got you a couple of times. Yeah. All right, number 2?
Well, number 2 will have to go down south to Marcus Scott. He's
a tough guard.
He's a tough guard in the state as well. He's like brings that Georgia attitude with him, so he's real tough to guard against.
All right, and the number one toughest guy to guard?
Number one had to be going back down south again to Ricky Lujan.
Another good guard.
Another good guard, Ricky Lujan. Yeah.
All right, so now your boy's in the studio with us, and you didn't mention him.
And
I did not say it this time. I did not say that you couldn't mention a Cleveland player. I didn't put that on you, so you left out your boy.
See, I didn't know you.
No,
Clarify,
I got you,
you know.
I got you with that one. All right, I'm interested in the number 2 pick a little more. Las Cruces is going to have a good squad again, right? Even though they lost some pieces?
I don't really think they're going to have a good squad.
No, you don't think so?
Yeah. That's what talking to Marcus Scott. He said they're not really going to be
down.
Yeah, really down. Yeah.
But they're known for sandbagging down there. Like, if you talk to Coach Benjamin, he's always talking about, oh no, we're going to struggle, and then they come in and they're the typical Las Cruces team.
Right.
But talk about facing them and when they had all those pieces. That's a team. And I think they get it from their coach. They walk into the gym with the swagger. They expect to win. They play a certain style, with that flex offense they run, the defense they run. I mean, that's got to be a pretty cool matchup for a team as talented and athletic as you guys.
Yeah, it's when we played them our sophomore and then last year, it was really tough. Last year we wanted to come into the game going down to Las Cruces. We wanted to come out with the W because of what they did the previous year in the state Final Four. So, but yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Let's talk about style of play. Is that Coach Jimenez style? It seems to suit you guys so perfectly, right? He doesn't try to overcoach the team, I feel like. Talk about the style of play. I mean, how much you like it. What do you prefer on the floor? What kind of game do you like to play?
Well, I like going up and down, I never like holding the ball. I like getting as many points as you can on the scoreboard, trying to blow teams out the waters and stuff like that. But when it's necessary, we slow the game down, and he'll take over and start calling some plays and settle us down when teams go on runs or if we just need to catch a breath,
So when you guys are getting into the hundreds, right? You had a game with El Dorado where you got to the hundreds. Is that just basketball players' dream to have a game like that? You see the referees are out there. I'm watching the broadcast, and I'm friends with one of the referees out there, and you could tell he is dying out there. But you guys is that the game that's just, a dream come true for you guys, obviously, to fill it up like that, like the pros?
Like our goal, I mean, we've led the state in scoring for the last 2 years so far, but our goal, we like to get to 100 every game. But if we can't, then we understand. But 100 is always a goal for us each night.
So when you guys are playing and you see the opposing coach try to pull it out, slow the game down, I mean, what goes through your mind at that point?
We don't like that. We try to get up in shorts and get 5-second call or a full court press, or we change up our press defense and stuff in the half court or full court and try to speed the game up.
So I'm curious, when you guys play Volcano Vista, I'm a big Greg Brown fan, right? I think he's one of the best coaches the state has. And when he has a week to prepare for a team, usually he does a really good job. Yeah. So what does the practice look like from your side? I'm curious. What does Coach Jimenez have you guys getting ready for? Because really, with Coach Brown, you never know what he's going to do. Take us through the week of practice when you're getting ready to face Volcano.
Well, taking it back to our sophomore year, when we had to face David Cormier, we prepared that whole week for him, and we called out different colors and to front him, or either or just let him post up, and then we'll come with the double team. And we had a whole week of just doing that. And when that Thursday came, we were prepared, and we beat him. And then last year, we didn't like really prepare for them that much, because we wanted to get back at them. And then which we did our second time playing them after we lost in Metros, coming back in districts. We prepared that week for them, and we got the W when we played them the first time. And then for the other times, we really do that much preparing because we've seen them so many times that we already know what they're gonna do, but it didn't work.
So is there ever a time where coach is warning you guys, hey, we could face a stall tonight, Does that ever happen?
Yeah, he tells his dad that they just like slowing the game down.
Right.
Because it was we watched film on.
I think what makes him so good though is that he doesn't do it all the time, right? So
Yeah,
you
he
don't
doesn't
know.
do it all the time. Yeah, he doesn't do it all the time. Yeah, and he changes. Coach Brown, like he's a pretty good coach, so he knows what to do.
All right, let's talk about college. First of all, announce to our audience where you're going, and then kind of go through that process and how you made that decision.
Well, I'm committed to Lubbock Christian University. That decision came with I gave it like a couple weeks to digress to see like who else is going to reach out to me, and but nothing happened. I just waited a little bit more, and then I finally came to a conclusion one night that I was like, I really just want to go to Lubbock Christian, and I just want to accept the full ride that they gave me and they offered me, and I just took it, and I'm just excited to play there next fall, and because the campus is real nice. I like it. It's a Christian atmosphere. The coaches are pretty good, and my teammates, my future teammates, is gonna help me progress into a good college basketball player too.
Now, the number one thing I've heard from whether it be a Maya Brown or a David Cormier or a Jordan Bird that I've had on, they've all said that once their decision was made, it was just a relief.
Yeah.
And their senior year was the most fun they'd ever had because that was all done.
Right.
I mean, is that kind of where you're at? You're like, okay, this is in the mirror now. Let's go out and win a blue.
Right.
Is that kind of where your mind's at?
That's in my mind, yes, sir. It's so much pressure off you. You don't got to worry about what are you going to do after basketball season, who's going to contact you, just knowing that you're actually already signed and committed. And all you got to do is go out and just get that main goal, which is bringing home the blue. Yeah.
When you're playing and you know you're being recruited, maybe recruiters in the stands, can that mess with your game? Because I remember when I had Marlon in, he said that some of that stuff kind of got to him a little bit, whether it be the Lobo thing and then just, he said, hey, I had to get my mind right. I mean, is that something that plays into your game when you know, hey, I got this to worry about, but now it's gone?
No, not really. It didn't really bother me knowing that it was recruiters in the stands, because I would just want to go out and just play how I normally play. I don't want to play for anybody, just playing for my teammates and knowing what I can bring to the table is what I can provide and help out.
All right, in our final 30 seconds, that crazy ending at the pit, where were you on the floor? Take me through it.
I was in the corner, and then I was about to go back up and put the ball back in, and obviously it was late, but it counted, and then I was preparing for overtime, but a ref waved it off and said it was good, and then we just started running and screaming and jumping up and down. So, yeah.
And next thing you know, everyone's an Atrisco fan. How crazy was that, right?
Right.
Amir, thanks so much for coming in. Good luck this year, man. We're going to see you a lot. That'll do it this week. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.